Clara's eyelids gradually flutter open, revealing the faint glimmer of consciousness beneath. I stand by, watching through a small one-way mirror, feeling a mixture of relief and concern wash over me. The room is bathed in the soft glow of monitors and medical equipment, casting shadows that dance across the walls in a hypnotic rhythm. Clara's movements are hesitant at first, her muscles stiff from disuse, but a determination in her eyes speaks volumes about her resilience. I whisper to myself, she's awake. Megadesk, ever vigilant, chimes in with a gentle reminder as Clara attempts to sit up, cautioning her against sudden movements that could exacerbate her condition. I observe their interaction with a sense of awe, marveling at the delicate balance between human and machine. Megadesk informs Clara about the dangers that she and her baby recovered from. Her face shows it all, a story of confusion at the word baby, the horror at her pregnant belly. She didn't know she was pregnant. A fire of hatred towards Nelson Cyphus begins to rekindle and will soon be an all-consuming one. The violation this young lady must feel, I couldn't comprehend. I feel compelled to do something to shield her from this pain. I enter the room. Before I can utter a word, Clara's eyes lock with mine, and in that fleeting moment, I detect a flicker of recognition amidst the haze of confusion. There's a spark of awareness in her gaze, but it's quickly overshadowed by an overwhelming sense of unease. The air around us thickens with her silent plea for answers, each unanswered question hanging heavy like a shroud of uncertainty. I recognize the signs of PTSD immediately. This isn't just a reaction to the unfamiliar surroundings. It's a visceral response to a traumatic memory. Clara's not here with me in this makeshift hospital room. She's trapped in a nightmare, reliving a moment of horror. Something about my presence has triggered a deeply buried fear, sending her spiraling back into that dark place she's fought so hard to escape. As she slumps back into the chair, her whispered words send a chill down my spine.
No. God, no. Wake me up from this dream.
The desperation in her voice cuts through the air like a knife, echoing the anguish etched into her trembling form. It's a stark reminder of the pain she's endured, a haunting glimpse into the depths of her suffering. You're safe now, Clara. I lean down, so our eyes are on the same level. You're at my office. We found you in an abandoned warehouse, guarded by a man who meant you harm. My name is Overkill. I rescued you. Clara's gaze shifts to the computer screen, her expression a mixture of surprise and trepidation as she listens to Megadesk's explanation. I watch her closely, noting the furrow of her brow and the subtle tension in her body. You're probably wondering why you're here. You were part of an experiment, Clara. A man named Nelson Cyphus was behind it. He targeted homeless subjects like yourself, conducting twisted experiments, all for his benefit. Clara finally locks her eyes back to mine. The horrors of what she had just experienced passed, but are still very present in the background. She licks her dry lips and finally asks,
The other homeless, you mean Piper and her granddaughter?
Yes, I'm afraid. Out of all the experimentation, you were the only one deemed successful. So you are the lone survivor. Clara's eyes widen in shock as I reveal the grim truth, her breath catching in her throat as she struggles to comprehend the magnitude of what she's been through. My heart aches for her, my sense of guilt and responsibility weighing heavily on my shoulders. I'm sorry, Clara. I wish I could have found you sooner. I could have... The anger boils within me, threatening to consume my composure. But I have to remind myself, I'm not responsible for their deaths. Yes, if I could have found them sooner, Piper and her granddaughter Astrid could still be alive. but the ultimate responsibility for their lives lies with Siphus. No one else. Clara's eyes fill with tears.
We were only there to get a hot meal. And maybe spend one less day on the streets. Piper's the one who found the flyer. She was so excited that Astrid may sleep in a warm bed and have a full stomach. It was almost too good to be true. It was too good to be true.
I stand in frustration, my heart heavy with the weight of their hopes for basic necessities. I tried my best to help Astrid and Rachel, Piper's real name. Astrid was a teen runaway, a product of the failures of Child Protective Services, shuffled from one foster home to another, only to endure abuse in various forms. She ran to find her grandmother on the streets, clinging to Rachel as her only family. Despite attempts to reintegrate Astrid into social services, she always found her way back to Rachel's side. Eventually, Child Protective Services gave up, redirecting their attention elsewhere. I had managed to enroll Astrid in a GED program, and Rachel found odd jobs like cleaning laundromats to make ends meet. With their earnings, they scraped together enough to afford a small, rundown minivan. I had hoped they would soon transition to a small apartment, buoyed by Rachel's strong work ethic and Astrid's unwavering optimism. I did my best to keep tabs on them, ensuring they remained within the safety net of our homeless community, where we looked out for each other. I hadn't noticed Syntech's grip on the community till it was too late.
I don't remember becoming pregnant.
Clara's words bring me back from my thoughts.
I mean, everything is hazy. I can't even remember my own name, but I remember fragments. But I don't remember this.
I turn hesitantly and watch Clara closely as I speak. We, Megadesk, and I believe that the child is Nelson's plan to gain control of everything in the universe. He artificially inseminated you with this child to be planted in a different timeline, to be under his control and gain control of that timeline. Clara's brow furrows in confusion, her delicate features contorting with uncertainty. Before she can voice her questions, I gently grasp her hands, feeling the fragility of her frame as I guide her back to the bed. Her small form seems almost weightless against the soft bedding, a stark contrast to the heaviness of the truth weighing on my mind. As she settles, I tell her she needs rest, and I turn to leave. She grabs my hands back to hers.
Wait. There's something you're not telling me.
I turn towards her, my shoulders heavy with burden.
Sir, she deserves to know.
Megadesk chimes in, knowing my thoughts to not burden this strong lady with more bad news. I finally look into Clara's young ocean eyes.
Please.
It's my turn to collapse in the chair. My eyes fall on the bedspread. I don't have the strength to look into those piercing eyes. Megadesk. I pause for a breath. My artificial assistant believes that with the trauma your body has already gone through, mixed with the complexities of the child's conception and birth, your body won't be prepared and will give out.
You mean if I have this child, I could die?
I finally lift my eyes to hers. Yes, you won't survive this childbirth. This child was never supposed to be born. Not in this timeline or any other. As Clara's gaze falls upon her swollen abdomen, her hands instinctively move to protect the life growing within her. My resolve strengthens, and my mind already racing with possibilities. We'll figure this out, Clara. Together. I have an idea.